Hey there. I know it's been a while since I've attempted to discuss anything related to carnivore diet, mostly because I've been trying to figure that all out, but also partly because I've just started teaching again since the beginning of September, and I'm at a new school and figuring out all of the intricacies of making my new schedule work out has made it difficult for me to get back into focusing on sharing what I'm learning as I engage in this carnivore way of living. But I've had some breakthroughs recently, so I thought it might be a good idea to do a quick update and just discuss that. So, one thing that I've recently started to do is try and get a little bit more meticulous about actually attempting to track what I'm eating. I've also started intermittent fasting recently. And I think the third thing that I've done is I've made a commitment to myself to engage in 30 minutes of cardio. So fundamentally, I'm making a promise to myself, given how busy I am with parenting and teaching, what can I actually commit to? And what I can commit to is getting on a treadmill for 30 minutes at a slow pace while I'm reading something to prepare for work. I can make that kind of a promise to myself. So this past week, I have eaten in a very small window. I basically will eat from the time I get home around 5 p.m. to the time I go to bed, which typically is about 10 p.m. So somewhere between a 4 to 6 hour window is where I'll eat, and I'm eating carnivorously for the most part. I'm After I put the boys to bed, have been going to work out in our little gym in our building and just getting on the treadmill and doing 30 minutes at 2 miles an hour at a 10% incline. And I've got my iPad where I'm reading to prepare for my classes for the next day. It's difficult enough where I feel it and I definitely am warming up, but it's not so much that I can't do the work that I'm trying to do. And it's very early in this, since it's only been the first week in attempting to make these changes, but I think that there has been some positive overall results so far that at least make me willing to continue to try it. So looking at Tuesday, it's hard to see, obviously, for dinner, essentially, I had these things. I had 2 eggs, 3 slices of American cheese, some bacon, an avocado, and some bone broth. That's not all at once. That is the what I had basically from the time I got home until the time I went to bed. And so overall, that came out to about 1,000 calories, and about 10% of my weight or calories came from carbs. About 9, that doesn't sound right, 90, I had 70 grams of protein and 70 grams of fat. So overall, I think pretty positive in terms of how well I ate. And then I don't know how accurate the calorie reader is on the treadmill. I assume it's not accurate, but it said that my work, I got 1 mile in and burned about 300 calories. The next day, I think I dialed it in a little bit better. I had more calories, but I only had 2 grams of carbohydrates, and I think that is closer to where I should be. So bone broth, I've been making bone broth in batches, and so I just make sure, as a habit, I just have 1 cup of that every day. And so I think that has been a positive habit. And so, yeah, I'm getting this was a higher protein day, 128 grams of protein and 108 grams of fat. Now, I know bodybuilders and such say you should try to get something like a gram of protein for every pound you weigh, but I'm not going to be able to double my protein intake at this point. So it is what it is. Yesterday, again, also about 1,500 calories. Really low carb, and I suspect that the fact that these last couple of days have had half a pound or more of weight loss suggests that I seem to operate best at the lowest possible levels of carbohydrates. So some things that I really enjoy, like cashews, I just need to let fall to the wayside for the time being as I'm trying to maintain and improve my body composition. So overall, this has been a really positive week, and I'm really looking forward to the continued development of this. I think this is something that I can maintain. 30 minutes cardio, 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting. It means I don't have to worry too much about super strict tracking of my macronutrients. I ballparked how much butter I had. I didn't weigh things out. And my guess is, even if I'm not necessarily precise in my measurements, I'm in the ballpark, close enough, and I'm being fairly consistent. So I guess I would say that I'm probably being accurate enough to see the improvements that I want to see. If I weren't seeing improvements, meaning weight loss and just general feeling, then I would focus on becoming more precise. So I will attempt to do a video check-in like this at the end of the week. It's actually, my work computer is much better. It's got a much better screen and all that, so I can get better resolution. And so I should be able to make these updates, and hopefully the improved resolution will show on my physique over the next 6 months or a year, or however long it takes for me to get to where I would like to be. Because the wonderful thing is I don't actually need to worry about time, because I know that I am collectively doing things that are positive, and since I'm not trying to, get into bikini ready body, it's just a matter of when, not if. So, good times. Have a good weekend.